I'll pay for a rust bucket like this. Now we're settled, right?
This car costs 200 grand, you know, buddy.
Huh?
And I'll also demand you alimony for my divorce with my wife.
What?
Trouble Busters!
My name is Alan. It's been 2 years since I got married. My wife, Marion, and I were married after about a year of dating. Things were going well at first, but Marion's behavior has been suspicious for a while now.
I'm going out to dinner with some friends today, so I think you should eat out too, honey.
Got it. By the way, where are you going? Shall I take you and pick you up? Marion? After that, there was absolutely no reply from Marion. She didn't read my texts. I tried calling, but I just couldn't connect to her.
I'm back!
What were you doing until now, Marion?
You scared me, Alan. What about work?
I took a day off from work. Not because I was worried about not being able to contact you, Marion.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. My battery died early last night.
I guess that's fair. But why are you coming home the next morning?
It's been a while since I saw these particular friends, and things got pretty chaotic. I missed the last train, so I had to stay the night.
If that's true, you should try harder to contact me no matter what.
I'm sorry, honey.
At that time, I believed what Marion has said. But from that day onward, she started going out at night more and more often. And the number of times she came home in the morning increased accordingly. I thought it was strange, so I hired a detective to investigate her behavior, and I discovered that she was guilty of treason. Marion, I have to talk to you.
What's up? What? This is...
Could you explain this?
This is...
You were having an affair, weren't you?
No.
Answer me honestly.
Uh,
What's wrong? Guilt got your tongue?
and what's wrong with that?
Huh?
You seem angry enough, but lest we forget, it's your fault why I'm having an affair.
What? And why is that? I'm not having an affair.
You said something when we got married, didn't you? That you would make me happy.
I've been working hard for that purpose.
And I'm not freaking happy at all.
Huh?
Not making enough money, you don't look particularly handsome. I'm seriously disappointed.
How? Then why did you marry me?
I thought you would change for my sake, but I was completely wrong in my expectations of you.
What the?
As long as you can meet my expectations, you've no authority in complaining about what I do at night.
I was genuinely shell-shocked by her unexpected answer. What's more, from that day onward, she began to openly flirt with her sweetheart and went out at night, only to come home very late or stay the night. Then one day...
I'm going on a trip starting tomorrow, and I'll be back in 3 days.
A frickin' trip? How far do you gotta go until you feel satisfied?
Can't be helped, right? My friend wants to go, so...
When you aren't really friends, are you?
What's with that attitude? If you want to interfere in my affairs, do it after you do make some decent money.
Oh, really?
Oh, you frickin' annoying bastard. Whatever. I'm up early tomorrow, so I'm going to bed now.
Naturally, I think it's a trip with her little sweetheart. I've reached the limit of my patience. I took the day off the day Marion was to come home and waited inside. Whenever she went on a trip like this, she always had someone drop her off in front of her house, so I assumed the same thing would occur that day as well. I had decided to attack at that instant.
That was so fun, Mark, darling.
It really was, babe. Where shall we go next time?
Next time I want to go to an amusement park.
An amusement park? Wouldn't it be dangerous to walk around openly?
It's all right, after all, Alan doesn't know.
True. Surely he wouldn't notice.
I knew you would drive her back home after all. Time to attack. Hey, Marion.
Look out!
What?
Well, nice frickin' job, Bruno.
What the hell, buddy? Let's not get carried away, eh?
Excuse me.
I'll pay for a rust bucket like this. Now we're settled, right?
Hold it right there.
Eh? Why are you so angry? A car like this is worth $200-300, right?
There ain't no way. This is nothing like the kind of car you could fix.
Oh, ripping me off now, eh?
Reason doesn't work on you, I see.
No matter what you do or say, I will only compensate it for $300.
You're way out of your gird. Tell me your insurance company so I can tell them about the damage and car repairs necessary.
I don't have insurance, you see.
Huh? Those were impossible words. I mean, sure, it's true that insurance is voluntary, but it's hard to imagine driving a car without any insurance at all. Then I thought of something. I'm sure I could get this young traitor to blow off some steam. Well, if you don't have insurance, you ought to pay for it.
And I just said I'd pay right now, didn't I? 200, 300, something like that, I guess.
If you can only for something ridiculous like that, I will appeal to the appropriate authorities. Your company and your family will also know about this.
What? So, how much is it?
If it was destroyed to this extent, I'd have to get enough money to buy a car just like this one.
And I'm frickin' asking you, how much? I don't think it would cost more than $1,000 to buy a wreck like this.
This car costs 200 grand, you know, buddy.
Huh? There ain't no way.
This car is old, but it's very popular. That's why it's considered premium.
But that shouldn't mean it's worth $200,000.
For the car itself, no. However, I like cars. So if you add up the interior, accessories, and other stuff I spent money on, I think it will cost no less than 200 grand.
No frickin' shot.
If you don't believe me, look it up online, buddy. It's also written in the car inspection records what had been done with the car. Per my suggestion, Mark took out the car inspection records from what remained of my car and did some research. The price of this car in and of itself, the types of accessories, everything really. And the more he looked into it, the more he realized that what I was saying was true, and his face gradually turned deadly pale. Well, understand everything now?
No, please, wait a minute. That can't be.
Are you paying for it or aren't you?
I can't afford to pay that much.
Then let's fight in court. I'll also demand you for alimony for my divorce with my wife.
What?
What do you mean by divorce?
But of course we're divorcing, since you cheated on me.
I don't have the money to pay alimony. Do something about that, Mark.
The alimony has nothing to do with me. It's a marital problem, ain't it?
As I said earlier, if we do go to court, your case will definitely become public, see?
Huh? That shouldn't matter.
So, what's the verdict? To pay or not to pay? That is the question.
No.
Oh yeah, I'll also ask for alimony.
What?
I mean, duh. Since you were frickin' messing with another person's wife, you must have been prepared for that.
I thought Marion had already divorced you.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Let's go to court and decide on that as well.
Court is...
You brought this on us all. There's no way you could steal my wife and destroy my car and not take any responsibility.
Shit.
While he didn't think it would be a big deal at first, once Mark realized that what I was saying was true, he quickly lost his initial sprightliness. In the end, the talk about alimony bubbled up, and just when I thought the battle had been won once and for all, Mark's attitude suddenly changed.
Huh?
Hmm?
If I pay off the price of the car properly and pay the alimony, I guess this will all remain between us.
If you really are willing to pay properly, sure.
Okay, I understand. I'll pay up properly.
But no one can trust simple verbal promises.
So what should I do instead?
Well then, first of all, I used the recording function on Mark's mobile phone to save what I told him to say, and had him send the data to me in DMs. This was to ensure that no matter how you interpreted it, you could witness Mark making a promise to me. And by the way, the contents of the settlement included paying $200,000 for car repairs, and an additional $30,000 as alimony for his affair with Marion.
Happy now?
Well, as long as you pay me properly, sure.
Then I guess we've reached an agreement.
However, I will prepare a written agreement in the form of a notarized official document at a later date, so you sign that as well.
Understood. Well then.
Sure. Honestly, since it wasn't a cheap price, I thought I'd get a huge deal of opposition. But on the contrary, it was decided quite easily. Then, all of a sudden...
Now then!
Huh?
Because this is a promise, see? Don't tell a soul now that we've settled the matter. If you snitch, I won't pay you a penny of this money.
And if you don't pay, I'll make it public immediately.
Yes, but instead of me not paying, what if things made it so that I wouldn't have to pay?
Huh? What are you saying?
I have a secret weapon, you see.
A secret weapon?
You won't be able to claim the debt I owe you, even if you wanted to.
What are you saying? Are you suddenly gonna break the agreement?
Nope.
Then what is it?
To put it simply, the law will protect me, see?
Huh?
I thought of something really good, see?
For the last time...
This time, I will shoulder the debt of $230,000, right? And once that becomes an officially recognized debt...
Spit it out!
I think I should file for personal bankruptcy.
Huh?
Once I do that, my debt will disappear, and despite being debt-free, you have to keep your end of our little bargain.
Huh?
Can't even make a sound now, can you?
Do you seriously mean that?
Of course I am! I'm a genius for thinking of that in an instant.
Ever heard of the expression, exemption from liability?
What the frick is that?
In layman's terms, this means that the debt will be eliminated, but there are cases where such disclaimers are denied.
I don't know what that means.
People often misunderstand this, but filing for personal bankruptcy doesn't necessarily mean you'll be debt-free.
Huh?
There are cases where even after someone declares self-bankruptcy, only the debt remains.
There ain't no way.
You don't know anything, do you?
Who would call that self-bankruptcy?
Picture this. For example, if I decided to borrow money from others and filed for bankruptcy every single time I needed to repay them, it would only be hugely beneficial for me.
That's not...
The law is designed not to protect such unreasonable people, buddy.
But wait a minute. It's not like I'm actually borrowing money from anyone else, so that doesn't apply to me.
This is not the only requirement for non-exemption.
Huh?
There are cases where compensation for certain damages to property becomes a non-dischargeable debt.
Which means...
In other words, when it comes to paying compensation and damages, there is a possibility that your debt will not be wiped out even if you file for bankruptcy.
Well,
It's certainly not all of them, but
then I could be exempted, right?
the requirements for non-exempted property includes...
What requirements?
There are many cases in which liability for damages for actions committed with malicious intent will not be granted.
Huh? That means...
This time, you slammed into my car with complete malice, didn't you?
No, I made a mistake.
But common sense suggests that if you drive up to the house of a person whom you're having an affair with and start making out in the car, you're already picking a fight with a victim, eh?
No, that's because I thought you weren't there.
That is your own stupid excuse. I don't care.
It's true.
Isn't it just a matter of not making out in front of the house in the first place?
Well, sure.
The bigger premise is that you shouldn't have had an affair with Marion at all, right? Of course, it's up to the judge to decide that. But I'll talk about the situation in detail.
No.
So, go on. Feel free to file for bankruptcy. I don't mind at all.
But there's no damn point in doing it if I go bankrupt and my debts remain overwhelming, right?
Well, I guess so.
Will that free me of my debts?
I don't frickin' know. Only one way to find out.
I can't do an all or nothing like that.
Well, you just go on and wipe your own ass however you want then. It was your fault that you had your affair with Marion in the first place.
Seriously, it's all different. This bitch here lied to me about everything.
What?
Lied?
She said she'd break up with her husband.
I see.
I didn't want to go on this trip either, but that woman forced me to.
Now wait a damn minute.
The hell do you want?
You planned this damn trip. Don't blame me for everything now.
That's not true. You said, I want to go on a trip. I'll pay for it all. Didn't you?
What the? Alan, this guy's the freaking worst. Squeeze as much out of him as you can.
Huh?
I was fooled by this guy all the damn time, too. Let's defeat the monster together.
Are you okay, Marion?
About what?
About defeating him.
But of course, a prick like this won't understand until he sees the pain of the consequences. I'll cooperate, too.
You will cooperate.
What's wrong?
It seems like you're making a huge mistake, too.
What?
You are also a very worthy perpetrator, so I will definitely demand you alimony, too.
I thought I told you I can't pay alimony. We're married, right?
No, we're getting a divorce.
Don't decide on your own. Are you saying you'll abandon me? How cruel.
Bruh, you're freaking cheating on me. It's only natural that we get a divorce.
For the last time, he deceived me.
You were deceived. From my perspective, you sure seemed enthusiastic about cheating on me.
What are you talking about? That can't be true.
When I caught you and showed you the evidence of your affair, you said that it was my fault.
That was...
I make the same amount of money since then, and my physical appearance hasn't changed at all either, darling.
Those words were just tit for tat.
Tit for tat? For real? So you mean to say you said those in the heat of the moment?
That's right. All I've ever loved is you, Alan.
Then why did you cheat?
No.
As a matter of fact, the fight that time started when I questioned you about your affair, remember? That means you were already having an affair at that point.
No.
Isn't it weird that I'm the one you still love?
Because I changed my mind.
Huh.
Although I admit I did have an affair. Through all of my years of dating men, I realized that you were the best, bar none.
I see.
That's why I will always cherish you as my husband from now on, okay?
Nah, I'll pass.
Huh?
You make it sound damn plausible, but in the end, you're only saying that you cheated on me.
Oh?
I'm simply saying that I cannot live a married life with such a cheating adulteress.
And I say I will not do it again.
The problem is not that you won't do it anymore, but that you did it once.
Huh?
I guess everyone gets a second chance after a single mistake, but in your case, it's not one mistake or two, is it? And add the way you treated me when I first found out about the affair to the pile. Everything combined now is just too much.
Listen,
I weighed my options and decided that divorcing you was my best option.
then what should I do?
That's why I frickin' asked you if you're okay with defeating this stupid bastard here.
That's
Since you're divorcing me, you can end up with this man, you know.
Mark.
However,
Huh?
I will ask for car repair costs and compensation for the adultery, if it's the last damn thing I do. Of course, to you too, Marion.
No, please.
So even if you get married, you'll probably end up living a life full of death.
Don't you think that's far enough, though?
You took it too far, pricks.
Huh?
Got some nerve there making fun of me all this time.
No, we never did make fun of you.
Too late. Both you and this cheating slime bag will be held accountable.
Well, I'm sorry. It was totally my fault, but I can't afford to pay such a high amount.
That's odd. You negotiated an agreement with great enthusiasm not 10 minutes ago.
That was...
Did you simply settle the agreement because you thought you could go bankrupt and your debt would simply vanish?
Yes.
I guess you didn't want to pay after all, huh? In that case, I'll go ahead and explain it to your workplace and your parents and get them to pay.
No, please, anything but that.
Shut the frick up!
Uh,
How much do you think I suffered because of you, eh?
I'm sorry.
If you want to pay the amount in installments, I'll keep quiet about it. But if you're late even once, I'll tell your workplace right away. Tread carefully, bucko.
Yes, sir.
And Marion,
Yes, sir?
so should you. Lately, you've been getting carried away and playing around a lot, eh?
That's...
What was all that? Really? What were you doing?
I was with friends.
Friends? You really gonna lie? Now of all times?
No, seriously.
I'm using multiple detectives to investigate you.
What?
You really did an awesome job.
No, please. Something came over me. I don't know what.
The number of people or the number of times says otherwise, you succubus.
You...
Since I'm still married to you, if only you apologize sincerely, I would think a little about starting over.
What? I'm so sorry. Oh, Alan, it was all my fault.
No, it's already too late.
I'm truly, truly sorry.
Yes, you frickin' are.
I'm reflecting on it, so listen to my request.
Okay, I'm listening.
Really?
Sure. As you wish, I shall divorce you, Marion McDonald.
No, that wasn't...
After all, it would be more painful for you to live with someone you ended up marrying out of pitiful necessity, right?
That's not true.
Even if you don't deem it painful, I sure will.
What?
The thought of living with such an unfaithful woman is too painful to even begin to imagine.
You needn't say so much.
Just how much pain do you think I suffered from this whole time?
Huh?
You don't seem to be remorseful from the bottom of your heart after all, huh?
I am.
Yeah, we're divorcing, Marion.
No, please.
You will be contacted by a lawyer later, so please respond to them appropriately, yeah?
No, please.
No. It's impossible. If you don't agree, I'll tell your parents everything.
No.
And you, Casanova.
Yes, sir.
The contents of the agreement were all recorded and sent to me in DMs, but just to be safe, I will have you sign a physical document. I will have it in the form of a notarized official document, and a lawyer will contact you later on. I expect you to respond properly too.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's that. After this, I don't care whether the two of you get together or not. Just do your best, yeah? Sayonara, suckers.
Alan, wait. Please listen.
After that, I officially divorced Marion. Against Mark, I filed a compensation claim, but he complained tearfully that he couldn't pay. I followed through in the process as promised, and had his salary withheld from his workplace. The two snakes apparently got married after that, but they were unable to make ends meet as they were neck-deep in debt, and they fought constantly, so they divorced soon thereafter. After that, I was able to buy a new car and have a fulfilling private life. I found a wonderful new girlfriend, and I'm starting to move towards remarrying. Trouble Busters!